Hi, this is a short tutorial by Mrs. Rader on setting up a paper in MLA formatting. First thing we want to do is make sure that our font is in Times New Roman 12-point font. So we go into that little box there, and here's our font size. We want to click on 12. Times New Roman 12-point font is the only font that is acceptable in MLA, so be sure that you change that. We want to make sure that the margins are 1 inch, so we click on the page layout tab and you'll see there's a little margin drop down box and it gives you several preset options. Normal is the one we want, which is 1 inch on every side. We also want to put our header information in. This is at the top where your page number and your last name goes. And it seems like this should be in page layout, but it's actually under the Insert tab. So you click on the Insert tab, go over to Header and Footer here. You want to click on Header. And I just use the blank setting. I click on blank, I hit the tab key twice, and I type the last name. This would be the last name of you as a student. So for now we're going to use Bob Jones as the name of the student. We hit the space bar, so there's 1 space in between the last name, and then we want to insert a page number. And this is the best way to do this, to use current position, plain number. Now, the reason you want to insert that way instead of just typing a number is so that when you get to page 2, it'll actually advance to page 2 without you having to worry about changing the font. There's 2 ways out of this screen and back into our body of our paper. One is to close the header and footer, or you can simply double click in the body and it'll let you out. The header is the next place that we really need to talk about. And we have this top header here, but now we have this information that comes before we start writing. And the entire paper, including this information, is double spaced. And there's a couple ways to get to double spacing. In this case, this little icon here will give me double space. Or you can click here and go to spacing here, double space. And that's the easiest way to get there. So we want to make sure you have that done too. The first thing we type is your name, which in this case my student is Bob Jones, my name, Mrs. Rader, the class name. So for this purpose we'll say it's World Literature, but you might have me for some other class. And then the last thing we type is the date, and this date format is a little bit different. It's actually called European date format, and the day itself comes first, and then the month written out, and then the year. And please notice there are no commas in this date format. That's a common mistake. We hit enter and we hit the center key because now we're going to type our title, and this title should be meaningful to the paper. And what I mean by meaningful is it shouldn't say my term paper for Mrs. Rader or assignment 3.4. It should actually have some relationship to what text is in the paper. As we go to our body of our paper, we want to make sure that it's left aligned, and we indent the first paragraph. This is the first paragraph. And I'm just showing you basically how that works. And as you type, you can type nonsense just to get us an idea of what the paragraphs look like. If I break this up a little bit differently, it'll space it correctly. And the paragraphs look like that. And one of the reasons I wanted to type this is to show you that if I hit enter all the way down, you'll see that our page number does indeed turn to page 2 by itself when we use that spacing. So that's the basic information on how to set up a paper in MLA format. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll also make available a document that points out all the steps so you can print out and follow along if you need to do that too. Thank you.